T-Rich.
What's going on, dog?
Nothing much. Just looking about how I'm going to win your league, huh?
Every time I call you.
Yes. Yes. I'm so excited. Hey, you know what? If we had to re-rank these teams, I'll tell you what. I don't know how you could rank a guy that hasn't lost in a whole month sixth. I might have to rank my. I want to be in the top five at least, T-Rich. I'm a top five team right now. I want to re-rank tonight.
Well, you can.
Oh man, are you nervous? Hey, I got a question for you. Are you a little nervous for the waiver wire right now?
I would say this week is the least nervous I've been all year.
Yeah. You know what, T-Rich? You are such a sly individual that I would be saying that same exact answer if I had $30 only on the Fab too. I'd be playing it close to the vest. Yes, I've been studying the whole board in our league, and I'll tell you, I looked at that's what I think. I'm starting to come to the conclusion if you got a bunch of guys, a bunch of friends like we have in a league, and we're competitive. I feel like to keep a leg up, if we're all trying to win, you can't only look at your own team. I feel like a lot of the guys, like subconsciously, just look at their own team more. But if you got to take a little intel from everybody else's situation and act accordingly, especially on a waiver wire.
I would agree.
You know, I'm looking. I see you got the $30 Fab, so I'm not surprised you're telling me it's an uneventful waiver wire because you got to play it close to the vest like that. I don't know what Dunny's waiting for with the full 100 burger. You never know what's on that guy's brain, huh?
He's not going to use $1.
He just wins. He's like the Al Davis of our league. I don't even know if he's upright on Sunday when the game starts, but he just wins, baby. Just wins.
What's the over-under? Does he use $1 of that all year or no?
Oh my God! You know what? Unless Tom Brady comes back to the Patriots, Dunny's not using $1 of that fucking Fab money. No way. I say no. Vegas NOOCH Sportsbook. Dunny to use. How much money will Dunny use on Fab? I'm gonna say $8. He might do one somewhere.
Sure.
I don't know if Ramondre's gone on a buy yet.
Sure.
Oh man, I tell you what, like I was looking. Oh, Paul's high five. That's done. Okay, so Knobs 5 in a row, huh?
Yep.
Man, I'm looking at Knobs' team because I got to do a re-rank tonight. We got to rank Knobs first, right?
I agree.
As far as fantasy rosters, if this is the JFFL halfway report, Knobs is number 1. He accidentally fell into Goff. Now, Goff had a bad game, but he still won. But listen to his guys. I'm looking at our stuff right now, and I'm doing my stuff. ATN and Pacheco, that's like solid and solid. Stephon Diggs, super solid. And DJ Moore's emerging and getting his groove. And then Kelsey's his tight end. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't think it's... I know he's won 5 in a row, but I wouldn't rank it over as far as roster strength. I can't rank it over Tyreek and the Freaks right now. I got to be honest. I'm looking at your team, T-Rich. Let's not even talk about... First of all, I hate on Stafford, right? I hate on Stafford because he's older, but he's throwing the shit out of that football. Now I'm looking at your running backs, Kamara and Barkley. Jesus Christ. If somebody were to tell somebody, a stranger, that the strength of your team is actually receiver, and then they say, well, who's his running backs? Kamara and Barkley. What? Jesus Christmas. You're the favorite right now, T-Rich. You're the favorite. I'm going to have to say that you're the number 1 rank. I know what the standings say, and Knobs has a good team, but I just said Kamara and Barkley. And who's your receivers? Who's your wide receiver 1 and 2 right now? Because I know you got more than 2.
I really don't.
Oh, come on. You love Mike Evans too much. You know it's Hill and Puka. You wouldn't say it's Hill and Puka?
I don't know. It's probably Hill and Mike Evans.
Oh, you know what, T-Rich? You know what? If I wasn't recording right now, I'd hang up on you. Oh, man. Yeah, you know what? You called me right when I was going on, so I just hit record. So I'm talking about the JFFL. This will just be the JFFL one, So now that you know, let me know. You give some input, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, I like Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. You know what? If he won the Super Bowl for me on a 58 burger, I'd like him too.
Yeah, how could you hate him?
I know. Hey, who else do you think? I'm looking at these matchups. You know what? Can I make a statement? You're gonna laugh at this one. I'm gonna give myself a nickname, and I want all the boys to hear this. And it started from my basement 2 seasons ago. You know how Doug Peterson's the tight end whisperer?
Yeah.
You know what I am?
I
Uh,
don't think I can over the air.
I'm Nucci, the wide receiver whisperer. You know what? I have like a horse's sense for receivers. Like I don't even know I'm gonna pick the guy, and all of a sudden it's like a fucking Ouija board. My hand just clicks the right one every year. 2 years ago, I get the guy that's next. Forget last year's guy. I took Cooper Kupp before he blew up. Last year I loved Jefferson. I took him number one in my leagues. And this year I loved Amon-Ra St. Brown more than anyone. But for some reason, when I had that back end first round pick, my instincts just I had to take AJ Brown. I had to. I'm the receiver whisperer.
He's doing all right, right?
All right. Oh, T-Rit, are you trying to push my buttons because I told you I was recording? What do you mean, all right? Come on. 125 yards a game. He's had at least 125 yards 5 games in a row. Nobody's ever done that except Randy Moss. Did you know that? Not even Tyreek Hill's done that.
Wow.
125, 5 in a row. The receiver whisperer, Johnny A. That's right.
What happened to Devontae last week?
Oh, you know what? T-Rich? If you switch over conversation to the NOOCH FFL, my family and friends league, I might cry. Because I got Devontae Smith in that league, and he's been one of the guys... He's been one of the guys that's been like just killing me on my season. There's a reason I'm 1-6. Like Devontae Smith has been one of them. What do you think's going on over there, man?
I told you, all the wide receiver ones are getting all the love this year. Wide receiver ones, I forgot.
Oh, that's a great point, T-Rich. I forgot about that. That's a great point. This is the first year I can remember that the wide receiver ones are dominating. Dominating. Who were the examples you thought of the other day?
It was AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, obviously.
Right. Yeah, number 1 and 2, big drop off. Last year they both had 95 catches exactly each. This year it's like 90% and 10%. There was another big one. We're not. Oh.
Tyreek Hill and Waddle.
Yes. No. Wait. There's one right in front of our face, T-Rich. I'll think of it. I know I'm gonna think of it in 1 second.
Like Evan Godwin.
Bingo. That's it. That's the one. Chris Godwin was on the cusp of becoming a superstar wide receiver before he tore the ACL. And remember what I told you, T-Rich. 1 out of every 20 guys in this present time, modern times, doesn't come back from the ACL correctly. The last guy I saw it with was Todd Gurley. Everybody comes back from the ACL. Cooper Kupp, Julian Edelman. Most people do. But this guy, I don't know, T-Rich. I don't know. He hasn't been the same since.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Paul Riz should rename his team the Free Fallers. Oh, man. Oh, Paul Riz. Hey, you know what? This could be a rough October for our assistant commish. You know why I feel that way?
Why? What happened?
The fantasy gods. Patty is on fire. Patty went from snoozing at the wheel. Dunny Jr. Patty went from starting Quentin Johnson to revamping his team to becoming a candidate for Manager of the Year this week, putting up a 155 burger. And now he told me this morning on the phone that he said, you know what? It's going to be so bittersweet this week. I said, why, Rye? He goes, because Paul Riz ranked me 10th. And he goes, and I just looked at the schedule and I'm playing Paul Riz. He goes, I got something for him this week. Oh, man. Yeah. This is we're getting good rivalries here. This is big. You know what? Patty's 4-3. We're all 4-3 in the JFFL right now. If the league ended, you're gonna tell me we're not on high comp right now. If the league ended, somebody would not make the playoffs over 500.
Sure, I believe that.
Yeah. I wonder what now. We got a 14-game season. I don't think 7-7 is gonna get into Rich. I think we're gonna have. I think number 6 seed is gonna be 8-6.
Really?
What do you think? I don't know.
I think a 7-7 team is gonna get
We'll see. We'll see.
I think one of these tied teams, or two of these tied teams at least, I think are going to drop off.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question for you. Who's the most now? A lot of guys on waivers have been. We got to pay attention. Remember when I said pay attention to the other guys' squads? Now everybody's got to keep their team afloat because when you got parity in the league and everybody's jockeying for position, wins are important every week. And I'm noticing guys, they're dropping guys that are pretty decent during their bye weeks. So now for all the Cowboys and Texans and Bengals that were dropped last week, who are the ones most valuable to you that might be on a waiver wire? Like the guys that dropped Tank Dells, the Tyler Boyds, some Cowboys. Like who would you think of first?
On the waiver wires?
Yeah, yeah.
It depends in all different leagues. In our league, the JFL.
I would say, like generally speaking, like think of it like this: like okay, Cowboys, Texans, and Bengals. These are the guys that could have been dropped if people are in pinches. I would say a Gallup and Cooks. I would say Tank Dell. I don't think anybody would drop Nico Collins. I'm speaking like we don't have to look at what the numbers are across the globally. I have enough common sense to figure it out. Tyler Boyd could have been dropped. Hint, hint. Nicely played, you fucking sly fox. Huh?
I would say fucking Darnell Henderson might be a pickup this week.
Oh, you're full of shit, Darnell. Who that Darnell Henderson? Jesus.
Or Boyd is going to get picked up. Maybe Kendrick Bourne. People like him. Dunny will probably pick up Kendrick Bourne.
Oh, Patriot, right?
Yeah, someone might pick up Elijah Moore. I could see Zay Jones getting picked up.
Hey, T. Rich, I gotta say this real quick. I think that was a really good move last night. I want to make that clear. I don't think was everybody cool with that move. How you kept the kicker on the bench up two.
Yeah.
Hey, and I thought of you. It was a perfect example. Moody missed his first field goal, and you lost point. You would have lost points.
I did. I would have if I had him on my team.
And I think he might have missed 2 overall in the night. And you know what? Yeah.
He did 5 points, so it was fine. But
Right.
at the end of the day, it wasn't worth it for me to start him. I still had the high points on the week, and I won my matchup.
Now, in hindsight, do you think okay, it was, now I guess it was the wrong move by me. If I would have kept Tyler Boyd and just sucked it up, I would have been 5 points less on the season. I probably should have kept Boyd, right? What do you think, T. Rich? In hindsight. Hindsight's always 20/20.
Nah, I think you did the right thing.
Because you never know. Like in the other league, I picked up Cortland Sutton for DK Metcalf at 355, and he gave me a 19-8.
Yeah, I think you did the right thing.
Right. Hey, okay, last question, then I'm going to let you wrap up here. We're in the JFFL, right? Okay, I've got a hypothetical question because this could happen, and I'd like to get everybody's opinion because the guys are going to see this. Let's say there's a lot of buys coming up. It's week 13, right? And let's say I'm 10-3. Okay, fooling around. I'm 10-3, and I got a bunch of buys, and I don't have to worry about tiebreaker points, and I want my entire exact bench for the playoffs, but I can only field 8 out of 10. Am I allowed to go 8 out of 10, lose a battle to win the war?
I mean, you paid the same amount as everybody else to manage your team, so I would say probably.
All right. I was just wondering about that because I figured that could happen. You never know, so I just wanted to make sure, you know.
Yeah, I mean, why I did it was because the player that I had, it was a very limited position.
Right.
That in reality could give me negative points after I already had won.
Right.
You know?
Right. Hey.
Where it's like you're just like saying, "Fuck it, you're a lose." I don't really know. It depends if it's like, what if that ends up making someone else make the playoffs?
Right. I get what you're saying. Well, we'll visit all this stuff. I'm seeing our waiver wire real quick. There's not scrubs. I kind of like that. Like Deontay Foreman is on our waiver wire. He had a monster game, fantasy-wise, for the Bears. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm noticing those bad teams never give you the consistency. The key word I'm looking forward, moving forward this week, is an offensive rhythm. We're halfway through in fantasy. Like Slayton got me because the Giants have no offensive rhythm. We got to find guys with the rhythm. Hey, did you notice last night with the Minnesota game, we were 1 week off with the entire game script? if we had the parlay from 2 weeks ago in last night, we hit a plus 12,000er. Addison, 110 plus, and Hawkinson, 10 catches. Oh! Remember the parlay 2 weeks ago?
Wow.
Did you even realize that until right now or no?
No.
Yeah. Last week I had Addison for 110 and Hawkinson for 10 catches, and it was paid $1 million fucking dollars, and it happened last night, a week later. But hey, listen, T. Rich, I'm gonna wrap this JFFL midseason preview, and I'll talk to you in a little bit, bud.
All right, talk to you later.
All right, later.